Hello, everybody, and welcome back to GameStack podcast right here on We Just Love Games Network. You're listening to episode 148, and we're rolling on the river. It has been a long time coming. What's it been? 4 weeks? 3 weeks?
I'm not even sure
Shalene
anymore.
doesn't know because she has amnesia from
Yes.
long COVID.
It's been a week or two or three or four.
How are
Let
you
me tell
doing?
ya.
Shalene, how are you doing? We almost lost you.
Well, that's a little drastic. I wouldn't say you almost lost me, but COVID hit me like a truck, you guys. That first day that I was like, vendor, I don't think I can do the show. I was pretty sick, but I wasn't like deathly ill. And then I spent the next 2 weeks in bed like a sickly Victorian child. Like I was so sick. I was so sick and it just wouldn't get better. And finally I went to the doctor and got some of the symptoms treated, and I missed 2 solid weeks of work.
My God.
Yeah, and like, you know me, so you know that is not like me.
Right.
Like I am
Very much so.
a bit of a workaholic. I'm not good at setting the boundaries of like, I'm not feeling great, I should take a personal day or whatever. No, that's not me.
So you exhausted your sick days, and did you have to dip into your vacation?
No, I didn't even have to use my sick leave. They gave me administrative leave because it was COVID.
Oh, that's really nice. Okay.
My job has been so good to me. Like, I can't even tell you. At my other place of employment, I probably would have gotten fired being sick for that long.
Absolutely.
And here they just were understanding and kind, and they just were concerned about my health and wanted me to be okay. And I the difference in environments in my new job compared to the one I used to have is just, I honestly, this feels fictional sometimes. Like they're
I mean, you're always going on about how like you're like, is this real? Is this real?
Mm-hmm.
I don't deserve this.
Exactly. That's it's amazing, but it's a very good workplace, a very good work environment, and my coworkers are lovely human beings. I did feel like really bad about the timing of my sickness.
Yeah.
My bosses are gamers, right? So they get it, they understand. And one of my bosses is also a huge Zelda fan. And we were talking about the Tears of the Kingdom launch for months, ever since I hired on. And we made a lot of jokes about the week that it launched. We were going to be like, it's the Zelda flu.
Yeah.
And then I got COVID for the Zelda launch. And I was like, you guys, I swear I'm actually sick. This is not the Zelda flu.
Is there anywhere where you suspect that you might have picked it up? Is there anybody?
The only places I go are work and the gym. So I'm pretty sure it was the gym because no one at my office had it.
Like, sure enough, you're like, I'm going to start working out. Gets COVID from the gym.
Exactly. I haven't felt good enough to go back to the gym yet. And I know that it's been so long. When I go back, it's going to be like starting over.
Yeah.
Except I'm going to have like 40% of the lung capacity that I used to have.
Yeah. All the more reason to go back to the gym.
Yeah.
To combat that long COVID. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better, Shalene, and welcome back.
Thanks. I've missed you, and I've missed doing shows, and I feel a lot of guilt about missing so many, but I was dying, you guys. I'm so sick.
Glad you're back. We are back. We're doing a show. It's great. Welcome to the best little corner of the internet on a Friday evening. We have so much to talk about. We have 4 weeks of screenshots and stories. We've got mail. We've got new releases, which I think the last episode that we did was also new releases. So
I think so. Yeah. I
so
think you're
we've
right.
got that to get through. We've got the news. We've got 4 weeks of stocks to compare. And then, of course, all of the gameplay that we got up to in between. And I want to hear about your Zelda and your Animal Crossing things and all of that stuff. So let's hop right into it. Before we begin, I do want to mention that the show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. Don't forget to tell your friends about the show. We love your support, and we love that you guys are always here for us, even when we are not live. You're in the Discord, you're talking in all of the channels, you're posting things, sharing plants, sharing stories, playing games together. It really is the best community. And how can people join the Discord, Shalene?
You can join our Discord by clicking the link on our Twitch page. That link is live whether or not the channel is. So you can visit twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. Click the link and join our Discord. Alternately, shoot us a message on social media. We'll get you the link.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about some news, gameplay, stocks. Like I said, no special segment this evening, but we got some new mail to open and talk about our gameplay. Let's hop right into it with this just in. Take it away. Oh, is it me? New releases.
It's you.
It's
yeah,
me.
new releases.
Take it away, Vendertron. Okay. Sorry, it's split personality disorder.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Okay. So new releases for June. It is May 26th, and in 5 days, it's gonna be June. So on June 1st, you can expect Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection on Switch and PC, Killer Frequency on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series XS, Quest, Switch, and PC, Skatebird on PS4, PS5.
So I just want to hop in here. Skatebird is exactly what you think it is. It is a little bird who skateboards.
Yes. I wonder if Tony Hawk's going to play it.
Tiny Hawk.
Right?
Oh, it's so good.
I'm glad that we're back. Okay. Street Fighter 6 on June 2nd, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Super Mega Baseball 4, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC on June 2nd as well. And also, we love Katamari Reroll, plus Royal Reverie on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. And then on June 6th, we have Diablo 4 on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. June 8th, Harmony: The Fall of Reverie, Switch and PC. On June 13th, we have Dordogne? Dordogne?
I can't even.
I'm going to go with Dordogne because that's fun.
Okay,
PS4...
this is a place in France. It is the third largest department of metropolitan France.
Well,
and on Steam,
it's coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One.
Oh,
Series
it looks
X
so
and S,
charming. It's like
Switch,
a watercolor
and PC.
painting.
Really?
Yes, it's so charming, Vendor.
Oh, let's
delightful. Oh,
game.
This is Dordogne.
Dordogne.
So it would be like,
oh, it is cute. Yeah. Except there's ads. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna skip through those ads here.
It looks like a living watercolor painting. How delightful.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, that's cute. Very so French. Charming. Very French. Mm-hmm. Look at those vineyards. Oh, and you get a Polaroid. That's fun. Oh, this is totally something you're gonna play.
Oh yeah,
I kind of think that's like right up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
Cute art
style. It's a Shalene game.
Super Mega Baseball 4. You can also expect to come out on June. Oh, I already talked about June 2nd. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we're here.
Let's go. Jack Gene on Switch, June 15th. Layers of Fear 2023 on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Formula 1 23 on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC on June 16th. Also on the 16th, Park Beyond on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Then on the 20th, we have Aliens: Dark Descent. on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, PC. And Crash Team Rumble on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S on the 20th. Then on the 22nd, Final Fantasy, is that 13? On PS5. I feel like people who play Final Fantasy know Roman numerals. Really, Roman numerals. You're muted. You're muted, Shalene. Yeah.
So that's 16, Final Fantasy 16.
Thank you.
And the people who play Final Fantasy and people who watch the Super Bowl, they are all super well versed in Roman numerals.
Experts in Roman numerals, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the 22nd, you can also expect Harmony: The Fall of Reverie on PS5. We listed this earlier.
Yes, we did.
June 8th, it comes out on Switch and PC, but on the 22nd, it's PS5, Xbox Series X and S. So that'll be coming out.
That is so interesting that it comes out on Switch before it comes out on PS5 and Xbox. That never happens.
I wonder if that's like a Nintendo strong arm thing. Sonic Origins Plus on June 23rd, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. And then, of course, my favorite, Destroy All Humans 2, Reprobed, single player. PS4, Xbox One, June 27. And then Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC on the 27th. And then on the 29th, AEW, Fight Forever, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. And then on Switch and PC on June 30th, we have Crime O'Clock, which looks intriguing. PS4, then we have Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, also on June 30th. And then capping the month off, Master Directive Archives, Rain Code, out on the Switch. We also have some free games with Gold and PlayStation Plus for June 2023. Unfortunately, are not available yet, but there are some Twitch Prime and Amazon Prime free games. So if you want to get in on the Amazon Prime free games, the month lineup for June, you can grab 13 free games, including SteamWorld Dig 2 and Neverwinter Nights, Enhanced Edition. In addition to those, on June 1st, I'm just going to list them. So June 1st, Sengoku 2 and Mutation Nation. June 8th, Soccer Brawl and Overtop. June 15th, The Super Spy Top Hunter and, again, SteamWorld Dig 2. June 22nd, Neverwinter Nights, Enhanced Edition. Autonauts and Revita. And then June 29th, Roguebook, Once Upon a Jester, and Gems of Destiny, Homeless Dwarf. Can I just say that these are all fantastic game names?
They are.
Once Upon a Jester, Roguebook, Top Hunter, like these Mutation Nation.
I'm hung up on the Homeless Dwarf. I want to find him a home. Maybe give him some soup.
That's so fitting with like the Lord of the Rings like story, right? Because they get forced out of their home. Epic has Fallout New Vegas free through June 1st as well. And then I think that's it.
That is it. Yeah, that is it.
So floor is yours, Shalene.
All right, to launch into the rest of the news, as always, shout out to Joseph Tao. We appreciate him putting together the news for us to make our lives a little bit easier. He was doing a lot of news drops that did not get reported on, and I apologize for that. But we're back. We're back in business. And this first article is it's a bit of a surprise to me. Alan Wake 2 will not be releasing on disc. It will be a digital-only game. And this is very unusual for a AAA game release. You know, this is a high-budget game. And it will not ship on a disc at all. Digital only, which I find this so surprising. Remedy, the developer, explains that the decision is based on two factors: current trends and an effort to keep the price at $60 instead of the $70 that more and more games are starting to go to. which I understand, but I'm not sure how I feel about this vendor. I Mhm. Right. Mhm. The idea of a price differential between digital and physical makes sense. It really does. Like a Kindle book is $7.99 or $8.99, whereas if you get it in hardcover, it's gonna be like $17. Sater says that they can't hear you. Archin confirms.
Oh, it's me. I had my volume down. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just to quickly recap for our audio listeners, I had made the argument about um, a lower price can be justified because you're not paying the price of the disc, and more game developers should be doing that. Yeah.
Uh, but on the other side of that coin, the okay, so Joseph Tao included a line of commentary on this news article. How close are we to the death of physical media in console games? And I think that is something to think about.
Yep.
You see so often with like a collector's edition of a video game, it won't even come with a game disc. It'll just have a code in the box. Sometimes you buy a box game, it has the code. But while there are many arguments in favor of going all digital, and for a while I was fully on board with an all digital future, I grow a little concerned because I don't like that you're only buying a license to the game, and it, it blurs the lines of ownership, in my opinion, because you see so often games being taken down from digital storefronts, that kind of thing. And they can't do that if you have a physical game that you can use. That's it's it's a big conversation, but I think that it is not entirely a good thing to move away from physical media.
Well,
There
I
are
mean,
arguments in favor, but
I'm with you on that
mhm.
because the reliance on digital is like eerily normal.
I find the lack of control over these items that you own, air
Mm-hmm.
quotes, really concerning, because you don't really own it. You just own a license to be able to use it.
Yeah.
And you
We live
see
in a world where a single massive
Mhm.
solar ray can totally wipe out all progress we've made in the last 30 years.
Yes. And there's also the matter of archiving your games, and I can still pull out my Game Boy, my original Game Boy cartridges, and I can still play them.
Honestly, actually, you bring up a good point for like legislation and policymakers that there should be a law in place that requires video game developers to produce a physical copy for the National Archives.
Yeah,
When you
that would be
publish a
cool.
game, you should provide a physical copy of the game for the archives, and that
Mhm.
that should just be a requirement of publication.
Yeah.
Hmm. Something to consider.
Well,
And then you
I
don't
am
have people spending $40,000 buying every Nintendo game in the world
mhm,
to protect,
just to try and preserve it.
right? So if you are unfamiliar with this story, it is Siri's talking to me. If you're unfamiliar with this story, we talked about it in a previous episode. I think it was
Mhm.
145 or 146, but yeah,
Yes.
interesting.
I'm anxious to see how many other games are going to follow this precedent, because typically we only see more indie games getting a digital only release,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we will see. um The next big thing I wanted to talk about is the PlayStation Showcase.
Ooh,
This one was big. Yeah, it's the this year and beyond the games that were revealed in the PlayStation Showcase. Did you have a chance to watch this?
ugh, no, but I just
Yeah.
hate ads so much.
I was gonna say that I didn't have time to watch the whole thing, but that's kind of a lie because I chose to have a nap instead of finishing it. But the part that I did watch was pretty fantastic. But we've got this IGN article that recaps everything that was announced, and I wanted to go through this because
Sure.
some of it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we have a Spider-Man 2 PlayStation trailer, and it looks pretty good. I really I haven't I haven't played the other Spider-Man games, but they look fantastic. So I don't think I mean I'm kind of at a loss for words. It looks good.
I
That's
mean, Spider-Man is cool. If you've played it,
mm-hmm,
let us know what you think.
mm-hmm.
I think the
Heard
gameplay
only
looks
good
pretty cool.
things.
Yeah,
I think it looks fun. I want to play it. Just there's time, you know. Um,
Spider-Man is so cool.
Spider-Man is cool.
Honestly, he's the best of the Marvel heroes.
He's a
Just
good one.
just saying. What else you got?
They have announced a remake for Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, which I
Okay.
believe is Metal Gear Solid 3. So it's been a while since there's been any Metal Gear in the news, but this is, I'm sure a lot of fans of the series will be very excited to revisit this. The graphics look pretty amazing. Um, there was in the trailer a big fight between like a big snake and an alligator, and that was fun. So I don't know much about the Metal Gear series. I played a little bit of Metal Gear 5, and it was just bananas. I didn't even understand what was happening. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
They also announced a device named Project Q.
Why
And
do they have to
Project
give it these
Q,
silly names?
I know.
Always.
Project Q is really interesting because at first glance, it looks like a Switch competitor or a successor to the PS Vita, but that's really not the case. What it is a device that allows you to stream games from your PlayStation 5 via remote play. So it is a device designed to run off of remote play over Wi-Fi, and it's got an 8-inch screen and little built-in controllers. It basically looks like you cut a DualShock in half and glued it to the side of a phone,
Yeah,
if we're
basically.
being honest. Yeah, it's
That's
no release date
interesting.
has been given for this, but I don't really understand who this product is for, because you can use PlayStation Remote Play with any phone or tablet. So if you own a phone, you can do this. You can buy one of those little controller grips for your phone, and you've already got this. This already exists for you.
I wonder if
So
it's just going to be like really good quality, like the quality you would expect to be on PlayStation 5. But
yeah,
let's call a
I'm willing to
spade
give it a benefit of a doubt,
but
but
let's call a spade here, Shalene, and say that it's going to be a disaster.
I really
This
I
is
can't help but agree.
Stadia. It's Stadia all over again.
Yeah, this is I don't understand who this is for. I don't understand what they were thinking. Um it makes no sense to me. None at all.
I
So,
mean, I mean, okay, let's back up here. It would make sense to you if you could leave your PlayStation 5 running, go on a conference, and bring that little handheld with you and play all your games without having to pack your entire PlayStation console.
no, but I can do that with my phone
Oh,
and have done it with my phone and
oh,
my
really?
iPad.
Oh, okay. Well then,
I don't think I've done it using PlayStation Remote Play, but I've done it using Xbox's version of Remote Play.
with the controller.
With the controller. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Hmm.
hooked up an Xbox controller. It was this one, in fact, that I use on my PC. Hooked it to my iPad and
That's it.
played games at the
Wow.
hotel. Yeah. So I
Oh
don't
yeah.
understand who this product is for. You can
Yeah.
already do this with existing technology that you've already purchased. So I don't know. I don't know. But
Okay. All right.
I'm willing to give it the benefit of a doubt. We'll learn more about it and see. The next item on the list is Assassin's Creed Mirage. This game will be launching October 12th, and I am pretty excited about it because it is an Assassin's Creed game, you guys. The last few Assassin's Creed games are excellent games. They're great historical action adventure games. They are not very assassiny, if you ask me. Um, the last one, Valhalla, I played like 10 hours of it, and I was a Viking shield maiden, and that was super cool, but there was just nothing Assassin's Creedy about it. Nothing at all. That made me feel like Assassin's Creed. But this is a traditional Assassin's Creed game in the vein of the earlier titles in the series. It has that same kind of parkour action, the same combat. It is a step back in all
Yeah.
the right ways, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
And it will
I
be
like it. It's very
mhm,
it's very Persian.
it is very Persian. It will
Yeah.
be a much more contained adventure. It won't be quite as sprawling as some previous Assassin's Creed games have been.
Hmm.
And I'm just so excited at the concept, the idea of having this traditional Assassin's Creed experience. This is something I've wanted for a long time. I had mourned that we would never have another one of these, but I was wrong. And Assassin's Creed Mirage looks beautiful. Can't
Nice.
wait.
Yeah, I may pick it up. This may be my introduction into Assassin's Creed.
No
Then of
kidding.
course I would go back and play all the other ones.
Yes,
So,
they're worth
oops.
playing. They're very good.
Slip of the
You were
finger
have you
there.
played Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Thunder?
No, I haven't. No.
You need to play Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yeah.
You would love it.
People keep telling me that.
You would love that game. So
Hmm.
earlier we spoke a little bit about Alan Wake 2. There was a pretty extended look at Alan Wake 2 during the PlayStation Showcase. It looks great. Um, I'm I'm excited. I really enjoyed the first Alan Wake game. So this is something that I'm definitely going to be interested in looking at. It looks good. It looks
Yeah.
very good.
Mm-hmm.
So Final Fantasy 16 got a new trailer. It looks like a Final Fantasy game. I don't know. I
I
don't know that
mean,
much about these games,
yeah, me
really.
neither. It looks good. Lots
It
of
does.
combat and very Final Fantasy-y.
The main character
I
is
like this
named
Phoenix.
Clive.
I
I
like
think
this
that's a terrible
Phoenix.
name for a main character.
Clive?
Yeah, Clive. His name is Clive.
My friend's dog's name is Clive,
That's
and
amazing.
he has diabetes.
Oh no, poor doggy.
He's
I
so
didn't know
overweight.
dogs could get
He's
diabetes.
so Shalene, the first studies on diabetes were done in dogs.
Really?
Yes.
That is fascinating. I had no idea.
That's how they discovered that insulin was a thing.
Wow.
They took the pancreases out of dogs, and then they realized that they weren't producing insulin anymore, and
I
they
mean,
learned
poor
that it was the
dogs.
pancreas that produces insulin.
It's important science that has saved many lives, but like poor dogs
I
with no
know.
pancreas.
Dogs, they're always man's best friend.
Speaking of dogs, Dragon's Dogma 2 got a new trailer.
That's terrible. Get out. Just get out. Just get out of the room.
It looks really good. I didn't play the first Dragon's Dogma. It has a huge cult following, and the game looks exciting. It looks like a sprawling RPG. It reminds me of a bit of an Elder Scrolls title. I don't know a lot about it, but it looks fun, looks exciting. The trailer was beautiful. Um, and this next one is something that really, really surprised me, unless you had something to add about Dragon's Dogma.
Mm-mm.
Okay. This really surprised me. Bungie has announced a new marathon game. Marathon was the series that Bungie was working on before Halo. It was the precursor to Halo, and I'm shocked. I'm so shocked that they have returned to this series. It's wild. It's not a direct sequel, but it is set in the same universe, and it is a PvP focused game. It will not have a single player campaign. The last time that there was a marathon game was in 1992. So
Wow, that's
it's been a
cool.
minute. Been a minute. I thought this was
Interesting.
fascinating.
Huh.
Um, we got to look at the Street Fighter 6 story mode, which looks kind of zany. I didn't realize that Street Fighter games had a story mode.
News to me, Shalene.
Yes, I really enjoyed watching the trailer because it was just utter nonsense in the best way, the best sort of
Well, I mean,
nonsense.
it's classic Street Fighter, right? Like
Hmm.
it's just like, yeah.
Video games, man, video games. Um, Haven Studio has revealed Fair Games with a dollar sign at the end. And this was what they opened the showcase with. I thought this looked neat. It kind of reminded me of Watch Dogs for some reason. It gave me some Watch Dog vibes.
A little bit.
But the thing that really struck me is that none of this was in-game footage. It was all CGI. So we literally know nothing about this actual
Yeah,
game.
it's all cinematic.
We know what they want it to be.
Was
That's
that
all we
Brad? Was
know.
that Brad Pitt?
It did look like him, didn't it?
It did, didn't it?
It did. But yeah, we don't know what this game is going to look like. We only know what they want it to be. So to me, that's useless.
Next.
Completely useless. The Talos Principle 2 will be releasing this year. The first Talos Principle was a really interesting philosophical puzzle game that I haven't gotten to yet. And the sequel looks amazing as well. It looks really good.
Talos is it's sort of like a futuristic Roman Empire. Is that what I'm seeing here? Like it's like a it's giving me
that's the vibes that I get,
it's
yeah.
giving me like yeah, Roman Empire meets Horizon Zero
Dystopia.
Dawn kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, there's cats. All the more reason to play it. There we go. Actually looks really
Yeah.
good.
It looks interesting.
Yeah.
So the next game to talk about is called Foam Stars, and Foam Stars looks like Splatoon. Basically, it's PlayStation's version of Splatoon. I have no interest in this game, none at all. It looks like worse Splatoon. So,
okay.
if you ordered Splatoon from Wish.com,
oh god,
you would get Foam Stars
from Alibaba.
So, yes.
Okay.
The Plucky Squire was another game that was announced, and this one it's a more indie title, and I think this one looks amazing. I'm getting some big link between worlds vibes because you see the characters are in this storybook and they walk around the storybook doing little top-down RPG adventure type things. But then they step out of the pages and into the world and have some 3D shenanigans.
I love this.
Doesn't it look clever?
It's giving me It Takes Two vibes.
It Takes Two vibes,
yeah,
very much so, yeah. And we'll
Is it
see.
co-op?
I don't think it's a co-op. I think it's a single player.
Because there's friends there. You see that, right?
Yes, I think it's just an RPG party, but I can't say for sure. But it looks amazing. It looks amazing. It has the potential between switching from 2D to 3D to be incredibly, incredibly clever.
If this is multiplayer, we need to play it together because
yeah,
this is totally.
I agree.
Like, yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
If this is done well, I think it has the potential to be a favorite of mine. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to trying this. I'm very hopeful. Very, very hopeful. Phantom Blade Zero was announced, and it is a hack and slash RPG. It looks really, really cool. It's this really strange setting where you have like it's part kung fu movie, part steampunk world, and also kind of post-apocalyptic, and also kind of a western. It looks wild, but I find it really compelling. I think this looks like a fun time. I think it looks zany, but serious without taking itself too seriously. I think it looks really good. So the combat looks very smooth and fluent.
Those guys with the no faces are scary.
They were spooky. Yeah. Yes, the no face guys were very spooky. Ghost Runner 2 was announced. That will be releasing in 2023. And this looked really interesting. There was a lot of high-speed motorcycle combat situations, and I think this looks like it could be very fun. I don't think it's necessarily the type of game that I would love to spend much time with, but I think it looks like quality. I think this looks like something that would be very fun to do. I think it looks like a world that would be enjoyable to spend time in. Um, so I think that game is going to have a lot of fans. Another one that I thought looked really great was Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 had a very tongue-in-cheek trailer that opened up with this lovely suburban family just getting annihilated by giant bugs. And it was a recruitment, join the
Oh,
Helldivers
this is very
commercial.
Fallout. This is very Fallout.
Yes, yes. Isn't this brilliant? This trailer just was, it
The
was,
blood squirting on him is
yes.
just everything.
And he's like, no, my wife and 2.5 children. Uh, but it's this really good trailer and it looks clever. It looks fun to play. It looks like a great, great shooter. So,
And then Brotherhood of Steel. Okay.
exactly. Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think it looks like a really fun action game. I was interested. I believe this one's a co-op. So,
Ooh, we should play
um,
it. That would be so fun.
yes, it is a co-op action shooter. So I think this looks like a great time. I would love to play this with my friends. Giant Squid revealed Sword of the Sea. This was the developer of Abzu and The Pathless. And this game it's another, gorgeous indie title, and it looked very intriguing to me. Your main character is on this like dune sea, of the desert, just
Yeah.
seas of sand. And there are points when it's very surreal and you see like air air dolphins and stuff, and he's snowboarding across the sand, and it's just beautiful. The traversal reminds me very much of Journey,
I
which I
was
believe were
just
also
gonna
by these
say,
developers.
the color palette is so Journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, there's definitely some strong Journey vibes in this game, and it's gorgeous, stunning, stunning landscapes. There is a half pipe in this ancient temple because why not?
Right?
And it just looks intriguing. I feel like this would be the kind of game after you've had a really stressful day and you just let go of all that and disappear into this world with surround sound on, and yeah, I think it looks like a good one. I feel like this is going to be a winner.
Love it.
Resident Evil 4 Remake VR mode for PSVR 2. It looks scary because zombies are scary.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go too deep into this one. I don't think you need to play it because we'll just be scared. Speaking of scary, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 has been announced for late 2023. That doesn't look like a good time to me at all.
Nope.
And yeah, just doesn't look like a good time. The creator of Briss has revealed Neva coming in 2024. And this is a beautiful, beautiful game. It looks like an impressionist painting. I think this one looks absolutely magical. This game, the trailer featured this amazing wolf-like creature with giant antlers and fighting alongside this heroine against shadow creatures. And I want to know more about this story in the world, but I also hope that it's a little bit vague and lets me draw my own conclusions. I just the fact that this girl is wearing a red cloak gives me some fairy tale vibes. It's a bit of a Little Red Riding Hood twisted tale, that she's this fighter with a sword, and the wolf is fighting beside her. And I was intrigued by this. I can't wait to see more. I want to experience this one.
This is going to be a strong contender for some art awards, I think.
Absolutely. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Just beautiful. And the depth of feeling in that there's no words spoken in this trailer, but the sounds of this main character, the crunch of the grass when she drops to her knees, carries emotion. And I loved that. I can't wait.
So good.
And this next one is adorable. Okay, Vendor, you're going to love this next one. Cat Quest Pirates of the Caribbean.
Meow.
Little
Look at them. They're so cute.
pirate kid, pirate kitties.
Oh,
Oh my
oh.
gosh, the bartender.
The bartender was
Woo!
swole.
The bartender was so swole.
That's you after the gym. That's going to be
Yes.
you once you get back to the gym.
Yes. They treated my COVID with steroids.
Yeah.
So I made a bunch of jokes about like, yes, I'm gonna get ripped at the gym.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, I love
It's
this.
adorable.
This is fun. Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
Looks cute.
Very, very cute. Towers of Agasaba is it's been influenced by Breath of the Wild. The character navigates landscapes with a paraglider in much the same way. It's a very heavily nature influenced game. There are lots of huge animals. This giant turtle, I liked him. He was my favorite part of the trailer. And because he walked up to this human and told him, like, I had hoped your kind had been gone eternally. And I felt that on a really deep level. You know, I could identify. But this character is shown
so many good games. Yeah.
Rebuilding their civilization, sort of turning this sort of wasteland into more of a green and beautiful paradise. You can see here lots of combat with huge animals and lots of really inventive character designs in the NPC creatures, that kind of thing. It looks cool.
Man, those sky creatures are so cool. Yeah.
And this was beta footage. So I feel like if this footage is beta footage, they've got some potential for sure. Revenant Hill is another one that it's an adventure game from the creators of Night in the Woods, and the little cat looked very much like the cat from Night in the Woods. This one I found fascinating. This cat is like walking through dark periods of history. There's just horrible stuff going on in the background.
The cat looks super jaded.
And the cat is walking by, and just this horrible stuff is happening in the background. There are, you know, the Salem witch hunts are happening, and people are dying, and there's wars, and, you know, people being burned at the stake, and just wild stuff. The Industrial Revolution is happening.
Okay.
And it's just super, super dark stuff as this cat just happily runs through the forest.
Life of a cat.
And I'm looking forward to seeing more. I definitely looking forward to seeing what happens here.
I like that.
There were a bunch of anime games that were revealed, a bunch of JRPG type things. I'm not going to go too deep into that because it's not our kind of thing. So we'll leave that for the people that specialize. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. It looked beautiful. We don't know anything about it.
What is this Arizona Sunshine?
Arizona Sunshine?
Yeah, Arizona Sunshine 2?
I don't know.
I'm just seeing it on the list.
We'll get there, Bender.
Sorry. I skipped
Ultros
ahead. I'm
is
getting
a
excited.
colorful Metroidvania that looks really good. Side-scrolling platformer with amazing colorful art. That will be coming out next year. Tower of Fantasies, another anime sci-fi situation. They announced some PSVR 2 games. One of those is Arizona Sunshine 2. And I don't remember Arizona Sunshine 1. I think it was zombies.
It's got zombies. Why does every
freaking
game have to have zombies? I'm not even going to play the trailer because I'm mad now.
Okay.
I was like, old church in the desert. This looks cool. Zombies.
Concord is a new AAA game coming from Firewalk Studios. It is a PvP multiplayer game set in a science fiction universe. Immortals of Avium is one that I thought looked really interesting. This one is a single player first person magic shooter. And this game, it looked very unique to me. I don't think it's the kind of thing that I would spend much time playing. The gameplay itself didn't appeal to me, But I think the world looked interesting. The characters looked interesting. The voice acting was great in this trailer. I loved the voice acting. I would like to watch people stream this. I don't think I'd like to play it myself. But it was a lot of color, a lot of action. I think it's worth checking out. And that appears to be the end of our list.
Man, that is an extensive lineup coming out of Sony.
Yeah, I feel like this is sort of the beginning of not E3.
Yep.
This PlayStation showcase
Yep.
was absolutely
Yep.
the opening of not quite E3.
Huh.
And of course, many of these titles will also be coming to other platforms. They're not all PlayStation exclusives.
Well, we do know how Sony likes to be exclusive.
Yeah. So speaking of PlayStation exclusives, which I think you were setting me up for, and I just dropped the ball.
And you just, it was just.
Yeah, it's
carry
just,
on.
it's the long COVID.
It's okay. Yeah, you can only play that card once, so that was it, folks.
Oh, geez. PlayStation is planning to stick to its current strategy in terms of releasing PS5 exclusives on PC. This is an IGN article by Christina Alexander. And they take PS5 exclusivity very seriously. And they are, according to CEO Jim Ryan, sticking with the strategy of not launching PC versions on day one. He dismissed the idea in an interview with Famitsu, saying that porting them over to PC 2 or 3 years after the fact has been working out well for Sony. A quote, he says, we also fully understand the importance of PS5 exclusive titles. As I mentioned earlier, PlayStation Studios' main responsibility is to make games for the latest PlayStation hardware that players will enjoy. We are increasing the number of PS5 exclusive games and staggering the release of the PC versions. I often have the opportunity to ask game fans for their opinions, and when I ask them how they feel about the time lag, they often say that they feel the release of a PC version 2 or 3 years after the release of the PlayStation version is acceptable.
Huh.
And I don't have a problem with that. It's nice that they are releasing these on PC so that other gamers who don't have who aren't part of the PlayStation ecosystem can still experience some of these games.
Right.
Because many of them are absolute masterpieces. And I would say maybe they should stagger them even a little further and get some polish on these things before they release them, because some of those were a bit of a disaster. I think the Last of Us port was especially heinous.
Not good.
Yeah. So
I want to shout out Vod in the chat, who's popping in for the first time this year.
Hey Vod, how you been?
It's June, and he's like, "Hey, sorry I'm late." It's okay. Lovely. You didn't miss much.
You know what I miss, Thunder?
What do you miss?
I miss game demos. I miss being able to just
stand
download a demo for a game.
Okay.
Download a demo for a game from the comfort of my own home and play the first hour of a video game to decide whether or not I would like to purchase the game. I miss that. And I think that's something that the video game ecosystem is missing. And according to this PC Gamer Eurogamer article by Matt Wales, Valve has begun quietly introducing 90-minute game trials to Steam.
I like that.
They debuted the feature with the Dead Space remake.
Yep.
And the 90-minute trial version requires players to install the full game and then hit play now, and that begins their free trial period. A timer will keep track of the minutes remaining. There doesn't appear to be a progression cap on the trial, so players are free to continue as far as they can before their hour and a half expires.
I mean, I would love to play even just 30 minutes of Death Stranding to decide whether or not I want to play it.
Yeah, I think this is a wonderful, wonderful idea. I'm so happy. I have missed game demos being an option, and I hope that this takes off. Not just within Steam, but I hope it comes back to all platforms.
Yep.
I remember back in the Xbox 360 days, I made so many purchase decisions based on game demos.
Yeah. Because not a lot of people want to make a purchase only to have to ask for a refund. And like I know on Steam, if you've played less than an hour, you can always get a refund. But that's not the point, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the idea is that you don't have to put a transaction on your credit card.
Mm-hmm.
That you can just try this game and then make the
Decide
decision,
if you like it.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. So
is it
earlier,
still free?
you were talking about Final Fantasy 16. We had brought that up, and you made a little joke about the Roman numerals being complicated, and Final Fantasy fans are super experts on Final Fantasy games. And this article from IGN says that Square Enix is thinking about maybe dropping those numbers in the future.
Oh, maybe because
Um,
it's too goddamn complicated?
right.
Couldn't have anything
Um,
to do with that.
in an interview with GQ UK, the Final Fantasy 16 producer Naoki Yoshida was asked whether ditching the numbers for future games had ever been considered. And Yoshida said, that's actually something that I've discussed with the higher ups. Maybe it's about time we removed the numbers for the title. For example, you have Final Fantasy 14. You get a new player coming in, and it's like, wait a minute, why do I have to play Final Fantasy 14 if 16 is out? Why don't we just call it Final Fantasy Online? Get rid of the number altogether. That would make it easier to understand. Whether Final Fantasy 17 or 18 should have a number or not, that's going to be on whoever has to develop that game and whoever's in charge of branding. So it's their problem, not ours.
I mean, honestly, they've niched themselves to death.
Mm-hmm. Yoshida also mentioned the idea that a lot of players go into the franchise and they feel like it's something that they can't jump into because you need to start with the beginning and go all the way through to be able to know what's going on in the latest version. But of course, that's not the truth. As some of our listeners have helped us understand about the Final Fantasy series, most of these titles are standalones. You don't need any previous Final Fantasy knowledge
Which
to
is
be able to enjoy
which
them.
makes it all that more of an argument to get rid of it. Like, why even have a
Absolutely.
sequence? Why have a sequence?
Because they're not direct sequels, it doesn't necessarily make sense to
Ay, ay,
to
ay.
use um that number terminology. Just I think this is really interesting, and I think it's something that they should maybe consider. I feel like it might be good for the
Fi-
franchise to drop those numbers.
Final Fantasy, the mash of video games.
And the last article that I wanted to talk about, so we talked about the Lord of the Rings Gollum a few shows ago, and I got a little spicy about how I
Triggered.
just had no interest in this
So
game, and
triggered.
I just would rather have a game about literally any other
She
Lord of the
was
Rings
she was so
character.
triggered.
I was triggered. Well, apparently I wasn't wrong because this game is a mess.
Because it's a
It's
mess.
a mess. Uh, this game has gotten some of the lowest review scores I've seen in a very, very long time.
Really?
IGN gave it a 4 out of 10, and that's the highest review score I've seen.
Wow. What happened?
Yes. I don't know what happened. They had a budget for this game. I don't It's wild. It's wild.
Huh.
I I don't know. I don't know. But it's a full AAA release, and the reviewers are saying that um it's very ugly, and the stealth is bad,
I mean, I was
and
looking at some of the screenshots. It is very bad. Like Gollum is standing on this
mm-hmm,
like barren wasteland that is not rendered, and he's like floating about half a foot off the ground. Um, and then the dialogue options, like
mm-hmm,
the buttons on the screen, look like something out of like the original Skyrim. Like it's
mm-hmm.
so bad.
The story is dull, and the it's technologically bad. Like, it doesn't run well.
Mm.
GameSpot gave this game a 2 out of 10. Digital Trends refused to give it a score. They said, first time we've ever really done this, but the version of Lord of the Rings Gollum we were given to review on PS5 was so non-functional ahead of its day one patch that we could not dignify it with a scored review in good faith, according to the writer Giovanni
Whew,
Colatonio.
whew,
So
whew. Okay.
they hopefully will keep working on it. And make it better, but I feel bad for anybody who spent $60 on this game. And
Oh, there's going to be
it's
refunds. There's going to be refunds for sure.
it looks like a disaster. It looks like an utter disaster.
Hmm.
And I I'm glad it's not something I was excited about.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I seen people posting on Reddit making memes about it already, and I was like,
it
oh
looks
no.
it looks so bad. It looks so bad. And
Let me see if I could.
I
Let's pull up. Let's pull up some
it's
gameplay because
interesting that we have this trend of AAA games that are releasing in terribly broken states.
I right like it's almost like the expectations on them are so high, but the deadlines are so tight that they
Mm-hmm.
simply cannot do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but from what I
Yeah.
seen, it was really bad. And this
Okay, so
it's on yeah, this guy's live. So here's a quick and dirty gameplay.
okay.
So let's take a look here.
See what we're looking at. So this is like in Mordor. Gollum's chilling. There's like a naked man there. He's creeping along behind him, being Gollum.
I mean, it's very.
Mm,
Oh yeah, that's so bad. What is going on
that's
here?
terrible.
Oh my god. Okay, so the lighting is definitely off. They've got,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I look when I get up in the morning.
The animations are a little weird.
This is me before my makeup.
The animations are definitely wonky.
Yeah, I it is what it is. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's all I've got for news.
Oh,
And
okay.
I've got a sore throat now, so take it over.
Okay. Let's talk about some stocks. So, as always, these prices are in comparison to our previous episode, and this is a few weeks behind actually now. So, these differences may be quite substantial, but it's only because we're comparing to a previous date that was far off. So, Sony closed out today at $95.98, a difference of $3.93 increase in their stock since our last show. Microsoft up $47.13, closing out at $332.89. Nintendo up 34 cents at 1068. Take-Two up $13.99 at 138.98. Activision down $6.87, closing out at 78.66. Ubisoft down 17 cents at 25.20. EA down $2.31 at 126.80, and 10-cent games up down $2.85 at 41.25. So those are our stocks. Let's hop into the mail now.
You've got mail.
We actually have mail.
We do have some mail. Am I unmuted?
You are unmuted.
Oh, good.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So our first mail comes from RTZ, the MVP of the Discord. RTZ says, "Hiya, I have a question for you all. What is the biggest treachery in gaming, aka games that never got a sequel that you wanted?" And some answers that we've gotten from the community here. Frankels Kanina says, "Looks hard at Deus Ex Mankind Divided."
Yeah, that's
um,
reasonable.
RTZ replies, "Advent Rising is a famous one. They were planning a trilogy from the start, but the first one wasn't a success. Funny that most trilogies are built on the success of the first, where story-wise, usually the first one could stand on its own." Mass Effect, Star Wars, etc. And Vodka Knockers answers, "Knights of the Old Republic 3 back on the original Xbox. Sounds like it would have been incredible. It comes to mind right away after hearing not so optimistic news this week about the lack of progress on the KOTOR remake announced a few years ago." What are your thoughts, Fender? Are there any games that you really wanted a sequel for that you didn't get?
LA Noir.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's an interesting
I
one.
would say LA Noir. Um we love LA Noir.
Mm-hmm.
We know how great that game is. Really could have used a sequel.
I am also gonna go with a Rockstar game. Mine is Bully.
Oh,
I
yes. Also very good.
loved Bully. I loved Bully. And there were rumors of a sequel for years and years and years, and we've never gotten it. And I just genuinely, I think I enjoyed Bully more than the GTA games. It was like,
Really? Yeah,
yeah,
Bully
GTA on a
Bully
bicycle.
Bully has a special place in a lot of people's hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
new Vegas of Bethesda fans, right?
Yeah.
People just love it and they are unwavering on that.
I think it is a crime that we've never gotten a sequel to Bully.
Well, maybe we still will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anything else on the stack?
Do you want to go through the next mail or?
Yeah, let's do another one.
Okay. So this one's also from RTZ. Thank you, RTZ. Hiya. We get all these amazing remakes of old and not too old successful games, which is great. However, wouldn't it be great to give a chance to games that flopped due to not being able to fulfill the original promise due to either time or financial constraints? What games would you like to see remade to its original pitch, other than New Vegas?
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones? You want a remake of a game that hasn't come out?
Oh, I thought we were talking about games that flopped.
Well, it
That
it hasn't had a chance to flop yet, Vendor.
it's flopped.
It's in development
It's
hell.
flopped. It flopped before it even started. Okay,
Oh
okay,
my
okay.
goodness.
You go first. You go first. I got to think about this.
That's a difficult question. Um, Let me think. This requires some thought. Games that should have been better that I would like to see redone. Of course, something that I would love to see redone is like a remake of the Fallout isometric games, Fallout 1 and 2. I'd love to see those remade in a modern engine. But I'm not sure that's exactly the question that RTZ is asking. What was something that was just not that good that I would have?
Well, okay, for me, it was good at the time, but now it doesn't hold up, and I would like to see a remake of it, and that is Vice City.
Interesting.
But I kind of get the feeling that we are probably going to maybe get a remake of Vice City with GTA 6. So,
You know what really comes to mind for me is licensed games, like games that were released alongside movies, that type of thing. Like,
yeah, okay.
I've played so many of those that were only okay.
Yeah.
And I would love to see one done right. You know, that just it rarely happens. So, yeah.
Huh.
That is a question worth putting more thought into. We might have to revisit that one next week.
All right, let's pin it. Return to sender.
I am going to put a pin in this one.
Return to sender, and then we'll just... we also have what the community has been up to. And we have a massive backlog of screenshots and stories, so we apologize, but we can only get through 20 of them today because we have so many, and so we're going to save some for next week's show. So bear with us on
okay.
that.
Who is riding this majestic goat?
So this, of course, is the one and only Jessica Starr. She says,
Ooh.
okay, one more, because I know y'all can appreciate this is my goat, Randall. And we're in the ruins of the southern erosion, where the rings of power were forged by Celebrimbor. Felcarb and I almost the only people to keep and ride goats outside of Moria. But the goats were the best mounts, just not the fastest.
So that means this is a screenshot from Lord of the Rings Online. And I've got to say, the graphics on this very old game, not that much worse than the Gollum graphics. Like, I say they're on par with the Gollum graphics.
She goes on to say, Lord of the Rings Online is one of the only games besides Fallout and Elder Scrolls I can guarantee I have over 1,000 hours in. It was so good, and the lore was so incredibly rich and well done. Anyway, thanks for the walk down memory lane with the WoW picks, Alex, which we will get to. in a moment here. But that was what spurred this picture on. Our next photo comes to us from Mr. Rockstark. And
this is great. Look at this dude doing skateboard tricks.
This is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 on PS5. So
his character is completely upside down. This is such a good screenshot.
Yeah, this is at Venice Beach for anybody wondering. He says, I've been ping-ponging between Star Wars games. Highly recommend Jedi Fallen Order, The Old Republic MMO, and even Dark Forces Doom clone. But this was an impulse purchase of the week. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 on PS5.
That looks fabulous.
This next one is giving me Simone and
What
Pumbaa. Simone and Pumbaa vibes, Shalene. Let me tell you. It means no worries. This is Alex. This is Alex. She submitted this photo of a tusked sort of hippo.
It is a disgruntled river beast matriarch, according to the photo.
But we don't know what game it is in.
This is WoW.
Oh, it is WoW. Okay,
and it does look like Pumbaa. It really does.
Wow.
Wow.
Next photo from Joshy Neurotic. He says, my partner got the new Zelda. I got a log spear.
Yes. So Joshy is wielding a log glued to a long stick. So
yeah, that's great. Next one coming in from Sater. Coming into Loreville on the environmental disaster that is Hurston after a salvage run in Star Citizen. Also, I noticed the traction strips leading to the ship's ladder, which I thought was a nice detail. Mm-hmm. And so this image is of his ship coming in, their ship coming in, and then, oh, that is wrong. Sorry. And then flying over some sort of industrial plant. An inside image of the cockpit here, wow, which is super cool. I love this. I also love that it's the flight display is actually quite similar to what you would expect to see in a regular aircraft.
That's really interesting.
And then this is an image of them walking around after they've landed on their ship and looking at this detail on this ladder that they were talking about.
I like his pants.
Very good.
Good pants. Very stylish.
Another Legend of Zelda from Joshy says, welcome to the Carrot Club.
It is a carrot glued to a club. So that's great. Really
what is
good.
That? What is that long thing in the background in the sky?
That is a dragon.
Okay.
It's one of the dragons of Hyrule.
Love it. Another one of WoW here. I assume this is Alex and Zephyr probably.
Most likely.
And it is Alex standing at the end of the dock. And Zephyr says, bye, Alex. Maybe she's... Oh, there's something in the water swimming away, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, like a fish. That's a fish, I think.
Yeah.
Her character looks really cool.
Yeah. Then we have this image, also from Alex. There's a fish in this tree, she says. And if you look closely, there is a fish in the tree, and it's fish bones.
Indeed.
And it's the tree is just growing around the fish. Is this also WoW?
I think so.
It looks so different from the other images.
It does look pretty neat. Maybe this is from some of the new content.
Yeah, perhaps. And then Green Camps chimed in with some more WoW and said, I do like the dragon riding element. It was pretty entertaining for the first several weeks / months. And he says, this is my quote-unquote bear. And his bear is sitting there on the ground.
Looks adorable.
All cute and adorable. Mm-hmm. Next one. This is Alex. Again, she says, tallest point in the expansion, the skeleton is my favorite part. And they're standing on the top, the very peak of this mountain. You literally can't see anything in the distance. They're so high up. And there's one little skeleton just at the top of the mountain.
It's visually very distinct from other screenshots of WoW that I've seen. It's interesting.
Funny because Zephyr piped up after she posted this and said, I hope this is the tallest because it was a pain to get to. And then we have some pictures from you, Shalene.
Yes, I submitted some screenshots of my Animal Crossing birthday party because I look forward to this every year. And I was so sick for my birthday this year. This was the only birthday excitement I had. So we've got a screenshot of my little character walking into a surprise party at Hazel the squirrel's house with Tiffany the bunny and Antonio the anteater in attendance. I chose to wear my watermelon dress for my birthday.
A brilliant choice. I also enjoy the star purse.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a little cherry blossom.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. And then you've
And
also
yeah,
got
here I
this
am
one.
just partying down. I'm dancing with my little animal friends.
You've got some champagne on the table and a cake, and some streamers up.
The birthday party is so cute that they have every year. I look forward to this every year. Here I am leaving Hazel's house. Happy birthday to me. It's always nice getting to celebrate with good cake and good friends.
So cute.
Yeah. And
oh my God.
After the party,
she looks exactly like you.
I got super excited about Animal Crossing, and just my love for this series came flooding back, and I decided to spend some time on my island. And I went on a tour of the museum, and here I am sitting in the butterfly room with
I love
all
this.
my butterflies.
I love the plants.
Look
at all the
gorgeous
plants. There's hanging plants and there's succulents, and I just love this. This is great.
Such a good game.
A couple more photos. Some new ones from Jessica Starr. Again, Lord of the Rings Online. She says, I didn't realize just how much I like Lord of the Rings Online. Here's James and I riding across the Eastern Rohan on a messenger horse, and the time we met Legolas and Gimli.
That's so cute. She's tandem riding behind her husband. Yeah. That is so cute.
And then here's the picture of them with Legolas and Gimli.
That is fabulous.
Yeah, I love it. I'm getting the Lord of the Rings vibes now. And then she also sent us this one, fashion show. Shide Willowthorn, best dressed burglar in Brie, 2 years running.
Fabulous.
Shows off some of her collection. And there are
so fabulous
4 mannequins. On the far left, there's a suit of armor, all decked out in gold. Next to that, a vest with a wonderful hat with giant feathers in it.
Yeah, honestly, this gives me some Puss in Boots vibes.
Yep, it sure does. And then next to that, a mannequin with a long dress and sort of, I don't know, there's like multicolored wings.
It's a really traditional looking Renaissance dress, and there are some wings behind it. Yeah.
And then the last, a child's outfit that looks to be like a pirate costume of some sort.
I believe that's a hobbit and not a child.
Oh, right. The feet would give it away. The feet would give it away. Anyways, those are screenshots and stories. That was quite the adventure of screenshots.
Thanks everybody who submitted. That was really fun. I love that segment.
We have some more for next week's show. We've already got 3 on the list. If you would like to send or submit screenshots and stories, do so by joining our Discord, or if you're already in there, head on over to the Screenshots and Stories channel. We always love to hear your stories and your screenshots. It's honestly our favorite part of the show. We just love it. So, yeah. Anyways, that's what the community is playing. What have you been up to other than almost dying?
Okay, well, the first thing I want to talk about is that I got the new special edition Zelda OLED Switch. So that was my mom's birthday gift to me because she's a really generous mom. And it's beautiful. It is absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of hardware. I had planned to have it over here so I could hold it up for the video people, but I didn't. But it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's just so good. And the hardware itself is good, not just the design. The screen is leaps and bounds better than my launch day Switch. And
really?
Oh, it's so much better. And there's so much more screen real estate. You know, there's no black bar around the picture.
Oh, really?
Like there was on my original Switch. It's stupendous. The speakers are better, and it just feels more responsive, and it's a really superior piece of hardware. It's much, much better. But you know what? It was a nightmare doing the data transfer from my old Switch to my new Switch.
What happened?
It took me days to get it done. Why, Nintendo? Why did you make this so hard? I so it gives you easy instructions. You're supposed to just be able to have your switches, in the same room, and then it just does the thing. But it doesn't just do the thing. It doesn't. And I ended up having to link them both to Steven's Wi-Fi hotspot because on his phone, because it was not working on our Wi-Fi, and it was not working on my cell phone hotspot, and it was a mess. It took me hours to get it to work, and finally it connected into the data transfer. And I was so relieved, and I was like, yes. And the first thing I wanted to check was that my Animal Crossing island was transferred correctly, because frankly, that's the only thing that I would really be upset about losing.
Okay.
I would be willing to restart my save file on any of my other Switch games. I can't lose my Animal Crossing island. I'm too invested. So I booted up Animal Crossing, and it was like, hey, we see it's your first time playing this game. And I was like, no, it's not.
Oh, no.
No. So I did a little research and found out that your Animal Crossing island is not included in the save data transfer. And what you have to do is install a separate piece of hardware that is like the island transfer toolkit. And you have to install this on both Switches, both on your old Switch and your new Switch.
Gosh.
So I had to log back into the old Switch
That
because
is
they had
such a
already deleted
pain.
my profile off of the old Switch at the end of the data transfer. So I had to log back into the old Switch. And you have to run this software concurrently on both Switches. But it's an item from the Nintendo shop, and you can't have two instances of the same item running on the same account at the same time. So I had to make a dummy account on one of the Switches to be able to run this software on both devices. And like 42 years later, I finally had my Animal Crossing island moved over. It was a nightmare, and I was full of rage, and I was so angry. But it was worth it because I have dived fully back into Animal Crossing.
So that experience is like my regular day.
Really,
Pretty much every day.
that's not nice.
There's always like these like setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is one step is always 13 steps because you have to like, and then there's thing, and you have to call the company, and it didn't work, and it's like, oh my god.
It took me like 3 days to get this done. It was awful.
But Zelda's good?
Well, I was going to talk about Animal Crossing first.
Oh, but Animal Crossing is good? You had your birthday in Animal Crossing.
I logged into for my birthday and just remembered how much I love this video game. Yeah. So I've been spending a lot of time there again. I had forgotten that you get scorpions and tarantulas at night. And I got tag teamed by like 3 scorpions one night. It was really bad. They stung me, and I got knocked out, and I woke up unconscious on the porch of my house. It was really bad. I updated my spreadsheet. I have a big spreadsheet for items and collectibles and stuff. So I spent hours updating the spreadsheet. And I'm working on, crafting things and unlocking recipes, and I'm just fully back in. And I crafted this suit of armor out of gold nuggets. So it's this golden suit of armor, like medieval armor, full medieval armor suit with shoes. And I didn't have quite enough gold to craft the helmet, but that's okay because I had a magnificent golden crown that I could wear with it. So I topped off my look with this magnificent golden crown. I was feeling myself. It was good. And I thought, you know what? I never tried out the DLC for this game. I should play some of the DLC. And the DLC is basically this little scenario where you work for a real estate company, and you design vacation homes for these little animals. It's very cute. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to work, and I clank off to my job as a real estate agent in my golden suit of armor. And I get there and I talk to Lottie. Lottie is the otter who runs the real estate company. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to have to ask you to put on a uniform. She made me go change. She was like, that is not appropriate for work.
We have a dress code.
And she made me go change.
That's so good.
I thought it was really funny. But the DLC was cute. I made a little reading room for a cute little yellow elephant, and it was adorable. It was very wholesome.
Amazing.
And I've played a bit of Fallout 76. I've taken a big step back because I just wasn't having as much fun with it. I've been working on getting the PC achievements. I'm only a few achievements away from finishing the achievements on Windows PC. And I was I don't remember what I was doing, but Archon started watching Jessica Star stream, and she was touring
Ooh.
Xbox ugly camps, like bad camps on the Xbox platform.
Okay.
And she was talking about needing ugly camps, and Archon turns to me and he's like, Shalene, Jess needs ugly camps on Xbox. And he gives me like this meaningful look, and I'm like, yeah, okay, tell her I'll log on. So he posts in the chat that I'm logging on so she can see my camp. So I log on, I join her world, and Jess brings her friends to come and roast my little hole in the ground on Xbox. I think I've talked about it before, but I literally live in a hole in the ground on Xbox on Fallout 76. Like, my little camp there is an utter disaster. And I think I won second place in their ugly camp contest. So
really? Wow.
yes, I'm almost a winner. It was really funny. They really roasted my camp. And afterwards, Jess sent me a message. She was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, I've kind of wanted you to do this for a while. I know it's deserved. So my
That's
little hole in the
so
ground
amazing.
was the second ugliest camp on Xbox. I thought that was pretty funny. And of course, the biggest event of my recent gaming is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which I got to play on launch day because I was in bed with COVID. So it's a really great game, really good. At least I had something wonderful to take my mind off of feeling terrible. And I'm absolutely in love so far. It picks up where Breath of the Wild left off. But it's also very different. The new abilities that you have compared to your old Sheikah Slate abilities are very, very different, and offer some really different means of traversal and different. It's a very different game based on changing those abilities. I'm surprised at how much that changed the gameplay loop. I'm still adjusting. It feels a little strange. It's sort of like, you remember we played a ton of Fallout New Vegas in the lead up to the Fallout 4 launch.
Yeah, we did.
And the first week of Fallout 4 just felt weird.
Yeah.
Because we were so used to New Vegas, and 4 felt different.
Yeah, that's what it is for you?
That's kind of what I'm experiencing with Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
One of my favorite characters from Breath of the Wild was Pura, who was an old grandmotherly inventor who reversed her aging process and ended up in the body of a child. And now she's like a teenager.
Wow.
And she's fabulous. And I love her so much. And she plays a pretty big role in the new game.
Is it voiced by Jamie Lee Curtis?
No Freaky Fridays. And it's fun revisiting some of the old characters and seeing the changes in the world. There's no longer all this old Guardian technology. It's different. The world is different. There's this Zonai technology that's there now, and it's replaced a lot of And there have been some pretty fundamental changes in the world of Hyrule, even though it is basically the same map. So it's been
Is
interesting
is
seeing how things have changed.
is the world as massive as you thought it would be?
So far it seems about the same size um as
Okay.
Breath of the Wild, which was a huge map. So
Okay.
I'm not displeased. I haven't explored enough of it to be able to tell you if it's much bigger or if they've added much. Um, this is a game I'll be playing for months, most likely.
Awesome. Great. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear more stories.
The I think you know about the Koroks, right? Like even if you haven't played. The Koroks are these little leaf guys, and you find them and they're like, yeah, ha ha, and they give you a little piece of golden poop. Um, but there's this new thing with the Koroks now where some of them are on adventures and they're wearing these huge backpacks and they're like, hey, I got separated from my friend, can you help me reach him? And you'll
Oh.
have to reunite the two
Oh, so it's like a little
Koroks.
side quest.
Yeah, it'll be like a little side quest and a little puzzle, and you have to reunite the two Koroks. And it's adorable. I
It's
love it. And
so
they give you
cute.
two poops because they're both happy to be
Two
back together.
poops.
I am the worst engineer ever. I believe that I talked a bit in the lead up to this game about how you can build things using one of the new powers. You can attach items together, and there are like little motors that you can use to power stuff. And I am real bad at this, Bender. I made this boat during the tutorial segment, right? Which I basically just glued a couple of logs together and then glued a sail to it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get the sail to stand up, so the sail was like listing to the side. It's just really terrible. Somehow I managed to get to the other side of the lake. I am so bad at building these contraptions for conveyance, and it's the building of contraptions is fairly important to traversal. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a
Like if
part
you
of the
want to get
game.
across this body of water, you have to build a
You
boat
have to
that's
build
not going to
something.
sink.
Yeah, you have to get there. And
Yeah.
I'm so bad at it. And I see videos online of people building like Apache attack helicopters and stuff. And I'm over here with a stupid boat that doesn't float. It's just like, it's so funny. But it is really fun to glue stuff to your shield and your sword and that kind of thing. You can attach stuff to your weapons. Like you saw in the screenshots, Joshy had a carrot club. Um, I've got a shield that has like a flamethrower glued to it. So whenever I hold the shield up into guard position, it just flame throws my enemies.
That's awesome.
It's magnificent. And there are a lot of zany characters and fun stuff happening, just like you expect from a Zelda game, and it
Right.
brings me joy. And I haven't played in a few days because I actually rage quit the game. So
Okay, tell me more.
that's okay. So I'm playing the game, right? I get out of the first section. I meet Pura, and I do some things. I advance the story a smidgen, and I think to myself, okay, I've spotted a few shrines in this beginning area. I'm going to go visit these shrines and clear them out. Because that's how you grow your health and your stamina. You clear out the shrines. There's this couple, a statue of a couple who gives you a glowing light, and then you trade that in for hearts or for stamina. And so I was gonna go clear out these shrines, and I did a few of them, and then I was going to the last one that I wanted to go to, and it was way up on this hill, and I'm going through the forest, and all of a sudden, I was picking flowers. I think there's a lot of resource gathering in this game. You pick flowers and mushrooms and
I love it.
all kinds of stuff, and you cook and invent recipes, and it's brilliant. But I suddenly just get walloped from behind, just absolutely knocked flat on my back. And I look up, and there's this tree that just like hit me with its entire trunk, just and it's coming at me with its little roots. Just, it's walking at me, this tree. and it hits me again, and I'm almost dead, and I'm like, oh no. So I start running away. I eat a bunch of apples and stuff to recover my health, and this tree is chasing me. And it took me a long time to figure out that the only weapons that are effective against trees are axes. So yeah, your sword doesn't really do much good against the tree. You have to cut it down with an axe. So
Haven't you learned anything from Rob Stark?
yeah, this attack tree just totally came for me, and there were more of them, and I was really scared. And I climbed up this hill, and I was almost to the shrine that I wanted to go to,
Okay.
but I needed to climb up another ledge, and it was raining. And when it rains, you can't really climb in this game. You just slide back down. And I'm on top of this hill, and I'm surrounded by these attack trees. Like the Ents are going to war.
Yeah.
And there are these skeleton bokoblins and stuff that are down there threatening me with pitchforks and stuff, and I'm just completely surrounded, and I can't climb to the shrine because it's raining, and it won't stop raining. And I was so mad, and I just shut the game down, and I'll go back to it. I'll go back and probably today and see if I can get out of this situation.
We should do a segment on rage quitting,
Yeah.
and talk about like some of the games that we've rage quit on but love
Mm-hmm.
them so much. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think it'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
That would be fun. That would be a fun conversation to have.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Farm Sim. So we're doing the seasons. We're doing the seasons.
Oh.
Um, we have precision farming on as well, so it's extremely technical. You have to like do soil samples and measure the pH of your soil and make sure that you're rotating your crops and doing all of these things. We're on our second year now, and we're in September. So it's
Mm-hmm.
harvest season. So I actually am looking on Discord right now, and I see Raven is on there, probably harvesting, working in the fields. I've got some baling to do this weekend, and some mulching and liming. So it's yeah, it's been good. It's been nice to just chill and do that kind of stuff after a hard long work day. Um, Jess and Hobbit and I hopped into some Deep Rock Galactic last night. Or was it last night? No, the night before, because I was out last night. Um, and, it's funny. We failed a mission, and it just goes to remind you that this game is still unforgiving. It doesn't matter how high level you are.
Yeah.
But Jess may have cranked up the hard level and not told us until we were in the midst of a giant wave of death. So,
Oh, gracious.
and I'm really sad because the googly eyes mod stopped working. So
Aww.
now everything is extra scary. Cause yeah.
That googly eyes mod was hilarious.
I did try out a new game called Space Lines of the Far Out. It's a co-op game. And you are two operators of a spacecraft, and you have to get people from one space station to the next one. And it's really cute. Like, the art style is super cute. It's very like Jetsons style art. And the space shuttles that you can own different space shuttles, and you've got to provide a meal service, and if your space shuttle doesn't have a bathroom, then you've got to hurry to the next fuel stations or the bathroom so people can go to the bathroom.
That's fabulous.
And sometimes you don't make it in time because you're like dodging asteroids, and so people end up peeing on the floor.
Oh no.
Or vomiting on the floor because you're like dodging asteroids and it's like really
Yes.
bumpy. Or and you've got to juggle things. It's kind of like Overcooked in that way.
Right.
So
Right.
like we have different roles. You've got to use a radio to signal the gas station so that you can stop at it, or the bathroom so you can stop at it. You've got to move the power for the ship around. So if your ship doesn't have the capacity that you need to be able to run everything, you've got to switch the power from the cooker to the radio so that you can stop at the station, and then you got to switch it back from the radio to the cooker so that you can continue to make people food who are complaining because they're hungry and you haven't fed them yet. And
that sounds really fun.
yeah, it's super fun and really zany. There's also like odd asteroids where there'll be aliens that are stranded, and you can pick them up for extra bonus points and stuff. But you also get penalties. So if you stop at all these places and you sightsee and you don't arrive at the next space station on time, you get a penalty. And the reward system is like reviews for your business, for your space shuttle business.
Yelp reviews.
It is so hard. We have not been able to achieve more than 1 star.
That's amazing.
It is so hard. And there's all these different levels with all these different journeys that you can take, and you can choose which way you want to go through the system to get to the end. And then, of course, as you progress, you build up your spaceship and you build up your company and things like that. It's super cute.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's very strategy based. We had a health inspector. So we're like putzing along through space. Everything's fine. We're serving meals, and then all of a sudden, the ship pulls up.
You got pulled over by the health inspector?
It's a health inspector. Well, no, he wasn't pulling us over, but it was a spot inspection. And so he boarded, and because I had to dodge some asteroids while he was on board, people started throwing up. And it was like terrible timing. And then Jess is like, oh my God, somebody has to pee. Find a bathroom. And then the person ended up peeing. And then then you can, one of the mechanics that your characters can do to distract NPCs from the things that they need is you can do an interpretive dance.
Oh, that's incredible.
And the interpretive dance is just like hitting toggle arrows, right?
Yes.
But so like Jess, I'm like dodging these asteroids, and Jess is doing an interpretive dance in front of the health inspector to like avoid being caught that somebody has thrown up on our ship. And it was just a disaster.
That sounds like the best kind of disaster.
It was chaos. Yeah, it was it was actually a lot of fun. So we'll probably play that game again.
And what was it called?
Space Lines of the Far Out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do want to there are 2 games on my radar that I want to play. One is called Shadows of Doubt. Have you heard of it?
Is that the one that you had showed me in the Discord?
The detective one?
Yes. That looked cool.
Very cool. So it's sort of like a 3D 8-bit kind of world. And the worlds are procedurally generated, as are the crimes and the clues and the stories. So everything is completely random. So what I would play would be completely different from you. But what I can do is I can also share the game file with you, and we can play in the same world and try to investigate the crime.
And see how it goes differently for each of us.
Yeah. So Shadows of Doubt, Raven's View has been playing it with his son, and he said it's a lot of fun. That
sounds really neat.
Super hooked. Yeah, very addictive. And then the other one I want to maybe dive into is Death Stranding. Somebody in the chat this evening said that it was free on the Epic Store.
Yeah, I think you've picked it up for free in the past. I think you've got a free copy somewhere.
Well, my Epic Store is broken, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, super.
I don't
yeah,
know.
That's great.
It's verifying some sort of update. Anyways, that's what I've been playing. So, busy show tonight. We will see you guys next Friday. That's a show for us, though.
It was good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Don't forget, next week we have a special guest.
Oh, do we?
Yes. Tim Twig will be back on GameStack Podcast.
Yes.
So,
I'm so excited.
We will hear what he has been up to lately, and he will join us.
It's always a good time having Tim on the show.
Full show, yes, absolutely. Don't forget the show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. Send us some mail like RTZ13. We love to hear your stories and talk about questions that you have for us. You can post those in the Mail Stack channel, or you can send us an email at info@wejustlovegames.com. We're also on Twitter. You can find us at We Just Love Games, Shalene at Shalene L, myself at Vendertron N. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/We Just Love Games, facebook.com/groups/We Just Love Games, and Discord, of course. Head on over to our Twitch page, twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. You can find our Discord link there. We also live record the show every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on that channel. We are also posting our shows to YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So, and Shalene, you have been miraculously busy posting shows, I see. Excellent work. You're muted.
I was muted. I'm trying to get us caught up.
Yeah, we are almost caught up. I think we have like one show left to post.
Yeah, we're one behind. Yeah. 2 now after we've recorded this one.
It must feel good though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about getting so.
Well, I mean, part of it is the audio issues that we had. So
yeah.
Anyways, that's it. Thank you all for listening. And Shalene, I will leave the last word to you as always.
R.I.P. Tina Turner. Who's going to run Bartertown now?